Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
All right. Those who hear not the music think the dancer's mad. That was my first speech to Toastmasters. When I first got to Toastmasters, I was here because a good friend of mine, Bob Clark, said, Rob, that would be a great place for you to go and build yourself up, learn how to give presentations, get some feedback. And I said to Bob, I don't need that. I already know how to get in front of people. I'm not afraid. But he encouraged me. I decided to go ahead and go. And I went in with an arrogance. I couldn't wait for you all to hear me speak. And the moment there was a speech contest, I jumped in and entered that speech contest, and I got to go to the club contest and the area contest. And what comes after area? Division again? Right. That's where I met John Richardson. So I was certain that when they all got to see me, I was looking at my competition out there, and I was going, okay, I think I got this one, right? And I went and delivered my speech, those who hear not the music think the dancer's mad. And I didn't win. And John Richardson came up and introduced himself afterwards, and said, Rob, too much movement without purpose. I was moving all over the place. Now that's what I was supposed to do. Had a tiny blood in me. So you kept me interested. And what I learned that day, first of all, John scared the hell out of me. Because I didn't know what he was. He just was a title. Right? I thought that he was some really big deal guy. And what I got the opportunity was to get to experience John in our group over 1677. This is where we got to work together. And what I found back then was that there was so much more for me to learn. So much more for me to learn. And there was an arrogance, but what was really feeding that was an incredible fear that believed I really didn't have a place to speak. How dare I stand in front of you and believe I've got something valuable to offer you? How dare I? And that's what was really feeling that. That was me trying to counter that part of myself that felt really inadequate. And the way John delivered that day was in such a good way, a very magnanimous way. It was very gracious. And I was able to really hear that and feel that and want to come back and really start developing myself and learn how to do what I experienced others doing. And Jeannie, I got to tell you, I was impressed by the way you set the tone of this meeting. I felt very honored to be a part of this, the way you said this. Claudia, you're already sharing stuff that I can talk about. You can come up here and do exactly what I'm doing right now. It makes me feel good to be in a group where there is this great understanding and people are already doing things in a very, very good way. So for me, I took that and began to really develop myself and talk about transformation. Went from this person who was really scared and, like Marianne Williamson said, believed that my fear was that I was truly inadequate. And the big deal was I was far more afraid of how powerful I really was. And that I needed to really be able to really tap into that and stop apologizing for how great I was and how grand I was and what I truly had to offer out there. Not from an arrogant place, from a place of truly desiring to serve out there. Now, I still probably have movement without purpose. I don't know that I've heard that one so much. But I know that what I've tapped into and I have found is a far greater passion and understanding that I'm not up here speaking so that I can get you to see me. That I'm up here speaking so that I can share something that for you maybe gets inside of you and you walk away with it and you feel better about yourself. When I go out and train and I've got an opportunity, and I credit Toastmasters and my opportunity to develop myself for the successes I have in my business today. This past quarter, I have been in front of probably 3,000 or 4,000 people in different organizations and companies, both speaking and training. And my one hope, my one greatest wish when I'm out there is that one person will get zinged by me. One person will feel something shift and move inside of him or her that makes them want to do something more with their life. Now, what I find is there's a couple in every group, but I'm always hoping there's going to be at least one out there. I read recently, well actually, we all know about the 80-20 rule. Has anyone heard the 80-20 rule? It applies to just about everything in life. 80% of the income is created by 20% of the population. 80% of the population is served by 20% of the population. Somewhere along there is this phenomena that the 80-20 rule simply just works and fits out there. And I recently heard of and saw what's called the 100-0 principle. Has anybody heard that one before? Written by Al Ritter. And Al Ritter suggests that relationships are about that 100-0 principle. And this is where leadership comes in. It is my belief that our greatest purpose, our role in leadership, just as Claudia brought up, is not to have others serve us, but to be of great, great service to the people that we're leading. Yes, we need followers. That's number one. And then when we've got our followers, our purpose then is to help them reach the highest places they could ever go that they would not be able to do on their own, that with guidance, support, commitment, just like John Wooden was with his basketball players, and they hear them speak today right away, they love the man, what they taught him about self and really growing up and becoming being good men in the world. That our goal is to do just that and apply that 100-0 principle. And what Ritter says is this: we give 100% to the relationship without any expectation to get a thing back. That doesn't mean we give ourselves away. Because someone said to me, Rob, I don't know if I can buy that one. I've given myself to relationships and have myself walked all over by people. No, he's not suggesting that at all. We still need to learn to set boundaries with people. But he's suggesting that if we go in with 100% of the relationship with the people that we're leading, give every part of ourselves to that they will respond. Because people are looking for great leadership. Forget good leadership. They want great leadership. And I don't believe they're expecting too much of leaders. I really don't. What they want is to feel inspired. They want to feel alive again. They want to feel like there's someone leading them that's going to help them get to where they want to go, not where the leader wants to go. So if we apply that 100-0 principle, then we've got a grand opportunity to truly lead and have people respond to our leadership in a way that we hope we can. One of the other aspects of leadership is the ability to influence. And Claudia, you brought that one up. By being in that position of power and authority, we can really abuse that, what we call manipulate people. We've also got great, great power to be able to influence the people from that position of authority. And that's where I don't see people taking enough advantage of. The position of authority renders you an audience, automatically. If we can just use that as an opportunity then to influence people in a great, grand way from that position of authority. Again, most people are looking around for great leaders to help guide them to where they want to go. So if we can access and take advantage of that position of influence, we can make great strides in our ability to help people to get to their best, their greatest, their highest places. And by the way, do I want my people to be passing me up?
Yes.
You bet I do. You bet I do. I want my people to go way beyond what I'm ever capable of doing. Wouldn't that speak a lot about my leadership? If I were able to do that? You bet. Not what I can do, but what I can help others to be able to do, to raise to great places. That's going to be, I believe, my legacy of leadership and for every one of you as well. Another aspect I believe is so incredibly important is modeling the way. Not unlike kids. Anyone, parents in here? They are looking to us as adults to see how it's done. They are waiting for us to model whatever that way is, and whatever we show them, they'll believe and they'll buy. Most will. There's that one exceptional, resilient child that goes, no, I'm not getting that one. It's not fitting for me, right? And they go on to be spectacular no matter what their influences were. That's not most children, and certainly not most people out there. Most people don't recognize poor leadership. So what they are doing is they're looking for their leadership to guide them and show them the direction. And again, we have this wonderful opportunity to be a great, great model of leadership for those informal leaders and those that are aspiring to be leaders on what it's really all about. And I'm most impressed when I see a young person, and by the way, our younger generation gets a bad, bad rap, right, Ryan? You look younger than me.
I'm 34.
Well, you're definitely a lot younger than me. Chris is in there. This younger generation gets a bad rap. This younger generation is looking for us to really model what they really want for leadership. And I've never seen a more eager generation in a lot of our histories, a more eager generation to embrace leadership and want to do something with that and take that with our technology and their ability to create and innovation and run with that. And it's a great, great pleasure for me to watch those young leaders take on those modeling of great leaders and do something well with that. You are young still. Don't drop that. And then I think that the biggest thing we have is courage. When we're able to access our courage, and I believe for every one of you it takes courage to show up at this meeting and sit in those chairs right there. It takes courage. Because one day you're going to be asked to stand up here. Maybe today. You never know. You never know. It takes great, great courage to step into those roles and dare to be leader of anybody. It takes courage to be a parent and be that kind of leader, let alone step into other positions of leadership. Franklin Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. he said about courage, he said, the critic is not the one who counts, not the man who judges, the man who doesn't, the strong man who stumbles, or the doer of deeds who doesn't do them a certain way. That the real courage is the man who actually gets in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat and blood. That at the best in victory gets to experience the triumph of high achievement, and at the worst, even if failing, gets to experience having dared greatly and not joining those souls that never know victory or defeat. That's what real courage is. And so every one of you, what I would leave with you is never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world, because indeed it's the only thing that ever has.
Before I sit down, does anybody have some questions?
I would love that. Yes? I brought up yes, the man in the arena. Yeah, just Google it. Toastmasters, new time group. Right now, I don't have any. Well, actually, I take that back. I do have another opportunity with the the radio. Thanks for reminding me. I do a weekly blog talk radio, 6 a.m. Monday morning. You don't have to get up to listen to it. You can join it later on and download it. It's called Leading Life Large. Leading Life Large. You put that in there, or put my name in there and just do a search right there. It'll pop on up there. I've been doing that for going on quite a few months right now, since February, with the Diva Toolbox Radio. A bunch of gals that let me be in their forum and in their arena. So that is an opportunity. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Yes, it's also in Facebook. So you can easily find it there.
Yeah. So as far as public presentations, I know I'm speaking for Willamar Rotary. I'm going to be out there in a couple of weeks on the 13th. And but right now I've got clients that I'm just going to assume in town right now, which is a good thought to have.